Okay, everybody, welcome, good evening. Before we officially get started, just want to make sure that you can hear me and see me clearly. And as you confirm if you can, I'm gonna be welcoming everybody. Plus Blue EP, nice to have you here. And I observed that meatloaf dinner that you have is delicious as you're watching this. Thank you for mentioning that. And Fairy Princess Valentine, great to see you. And Moby Fan 12, great to see you too. As well as you, Ethan, and Starfy and Starly, and Danny Dude 452, Alba 3000, and Jai, Foxworthy YouTube, Dexter yes, Man Dark no, and Norbert, welcome. And Angry Birds Fan 2002, yes. Okay, so you guys could hear me well. Oh, wait, before we continue on, there's an unfortunate loss here that is kind of relevant to our main subject for tonight. Moby Fan 12 has mentioned that unfortunately we lost Nelvana animator Ted Bastien, or Charles E. Bastien, this month. He worked on such shows as Babar, The Magic School Bus, Beetlejuice, Clone High, Quads, Braceface, Johnny Test, Pelswick, Anatole, Little Bear, Handy Mandy, and Paw Patrol. Wow, he's worked on a lot. Oh yes, rest in peace, Mr. Bastien. You definitely contributed to a lot of our childhoods. And who knows, I believe maybe one of these shows that you mentioned, Moby Fan, I'll draw a character for one of them just as a little tribute to Ted Bastien, like his contributions to Nelvana and Canadian animation in general. Oh yeah, I know Will Bear and Paw Patrol never aired on Teletoon, but just that several of the shows that Moby Fan listed that Ted worked on, they did. So that's part of what I meant, how it's relevant to the main subject. But yes, rest in peace, Ted. And yes, this is the second Teletoon stream. This is mainly to catch up on some leftovers that you left in the community tab for Teletoon characters to do a drawing request for, because you know it was that fun the last time we did it, and you know I couldn't like resist neglecting like a few of the requests that were left previously. And of course I have to give a big thank you for the positive feedback that the first batch of requests got. Just a recap, I drew who did I draw? I draw Chris McClain from Total Drama. I drew Ned Ned's Newton, and I drew Wayne from Garage Band. Also, I drew Radicus from Flying Rhino Junior High, and also I drew Peter, Bender, and JFK getting drunk. And speak of that, I also add that design requested by Bobby Fan. Oh, hang on. The audio's already out of sync. Let me see here. Okay. Let me know if that's better. If you could continue, let me know if it gets out of sync again, Norbert, if you like, so that I could fix it. But yes, thank you for the positive reception that you gave the first batch of Teletoon drawing requests. It got over 140 something likes on Instagram thus far, and almost 100 likes on Twitter, and almost 100 likes here on my YouTube community tab. So yes, I'm happy that you guys appreciate the requests that I fulfilled, and that you let me know which ones are your favorites. Oh yes, and he did work on, and Ted Bastien worked on Cyber Chase as well. He passed away from cancer. Yes, I know cancer sucks. Let's see. Marcio is asking if I could draw characters from What About Mimi. I might do another bonus request. But again, this is focusing on leftovers that were left before. And I think we could get started on that. And just to let you know, as we're doing the stream, if you're enjoying it, to hit a like button, and if you're a newcomer, to subscribe as well. And okay, so as I prepare the first request, how about we have another Widow intermission? Or in fact, as I do that, just want to switch up what's on the TV right now. Once again, we're gonna be playing some Looney Tunes in the background, since it's again a long-time staple of Teletoon. And I'm thinking about playing disc free, which is focused on Sylvester and Tweety, because just yesterday it was Sylvester's birthday. So just give me a moment as I put that on. Okay, just pulling the intermission here.
Unexpected, unashamed, unglued, unbeaten, unrestrained. Where do viewers find such fun? Start with words that start with un. Like underdogs who understand how days can go unlike they planned.
Ow!
Just wait till you get the headgear.
They overcome what seems unfair to stand tall in their underwear. Unafraid of any fight, are unsung heroes dark and light, undoing harm done without pity by foes unkind, unjust, unpretty.
What is wrong with this planet?
We've unlocked a treasure chest, unending laughs from days gone past. These unwise acts are recreated by new tunes, uncoordinated.
Consider yourself uninvited to my summer cotillion.
Unleash the power of your TV to set your untamed vision free. The unmistakable appeal
Nothing nice has happened to me since the boys got back from Gettysburg.
of Teletoon. It's unreal.
Okay. Alright, everybody. Okay, so as you can see here, I already got the reference photo for the first request that I want to do. And just to briefly pull up the name, it comes from Deidre Barnell is back, requesting for me to draw Kaput and Zelski. But I'll admit, I have basically zero knowledge of this show. Well, maybe not zero knowledge, but very little knowledge. You know. In the sense that I never watched a single episode of it, and I can't even tell you what the premise is. But if anybody is familiar with it, please let me know in the chat. Okay, let me just get my music going too. Anyway, just catch up. Let's see. Oh, let's see. What else do we have here? Nobler say that it's not related to Teletoon, but if I heard about the recent court ruling against the Internet Archive, and what are my thoughts on that? Well, yeah, I wouldn't want the Internet Archive and the Wayback Machine to be gone. Like, it's one of my all-time favorite sources of info, especially with me as being a unapologetic nerd, looking up obscure info about whatever my special interests are. And not to mention, I love how the Internet Archive has lots of different model seats of our different favorite cartoons and so forth. It's like it's like a virtual visit to an animation studio's vault. So yeah, I hope that the Internet Archive and the Wayback Machine is absolutely will still remain alive. Okay, so I just get started here. Make sure I have my right tool. Okay. Maybe just lower the stabilization just a bit. Hey, Kristen Frades is here. Nothing bad ever happens to the Kennedys. Yes, famous quote from JFK. And yeah, I might as well bring up that some new information about Clone High, the reboot that's coming out for HBO Max has been released. Pretty excited for it. Okay, maybe not super duper excited because I still haven't watched every episode of like the original Clone High, but I will say from the screenshots that I saw on Animation Magazine, absolutely love how it really hasn't aged a bit with its style. Like Clone High in general is a great example of, you know, resurrecting that stylized Hanna-Barbera UPA looking aesthetic. And Sound Machine, the animation studio who's doing the show now, they really pulled off that what the 2002 cartoon has given us. Although I heard that there's a possibility that Gandhi will not be in the reboot, unfortunately. Well, it's not really a reboot, it's a revival. Sometimes neglect to acknowledge the differences. But yeah, too bad Gandhi's not gonna be in it. So he might be my favorite of all of the characters. The funniest for sure. But I understand that he was pretty much the main reason, part of the reason why the original show was so short-lived to begin with. Let's see. Let's see, what do we have here? Wook is asking if I ever heard of the Red Green Show. Yeah, I have. It used to air on CBC. I remember sort of seeing it when it came on CBC, but I think it'll come on either after or before The Simpsons, weekday afternoons. To be honest, I never really paid attention to it because it wasn't my thing, but I am aware that it was a pretty long-running Canadian sitcom. Okay, so I'm trying to remember which one is Kaput and which one is Zelski. Maybe Kaput is the short one and Zelski is the tall one. I'm not sure. Please correct me. Once again, I have little knowledge on the show. But I will say this, the art style, it kind of reminds me of Fly Tales. Now that's a show I'm more familiar with. In fact, I have vague memories of seeing it on Teletoon in the early 2000s. About this little little ball of a fly with stick arms and legs and big shoes, you know, just exploring the world that is, you know, the normal human world that is, from his perspective, extremely massive. So that the art style to this show reminds me of that show. Okay, yeah, so Kaput is the short one and Zelski is the tall one. Thank you guys. Let's see. Let's see what else am I missing. Moby fans point out that Gandhi will not return, and also Joan of Arc's hair doesn't have sharp edges anymore. Yeah, I kind of noticed there's something a little bit slightly different about Joan's hair. But it was a subtle change, honestly, but I still, I noticed it regardless. Oh yeah, I just want to acknowledge that the person who I'm drawing this request for, Deetra Barnell is back. She is here in the chat, and hope you appreciate that I am fulfilling your request, and that you will like it once I'm done with it. Okay, the stick figure arms. I'll probably give him like another eyebrow here. Little boots. Okay, yeah, so it seems to be pointed in the same direction. Okay, and just a reminder, when it comes to me doing these requests on stream, I'll be focusing on the sketching. Anything else, like cleaning it up and coloring, will be done after the stream. Because I already know, of course, this will be long enough. I have quite a few leftovers that I want to get down to business with sketching on stream. So I'll do like the rest of the work afterwards. So yeah, and also anything with like refining the designs and will also be like taken care of. Okay, so next we have Zelski. Hello there, I love my wife 0007. Let's see. Norbert's asking if I reached out to any Canadian voice actors for an interview yet. Nope, not yet. And once I do, I will let you know. And by that I mean when I do get a hold of one, particularly when it is close to time of whichever date we sell for the interview, I'll definitely let you guys know. Probably just lower these guys here. Oh, okay. So Norbert's saying that after every drawing that I temporarily fix the out of sync issue by turn on off the camera. Okay. So to be on the safe side, yeah. As soon as I'm done sketching Zelski, which won't take me long, I could do that. I hope you're liking this request so far, Deetra. Sylvester saying his famous line, "Ah, shut up." Probably my favorite time when he says that is in the one short where he was with Foghorn Leghorn, Growing Pains. And that scene was animated beautifully by Manny Good. I believe that's how you say his name. A Warner Bros. Animator who worked mainly for the units of Bob Clampett and Bob McKibson. Just to see Foghorn just yapping away and Sylvester trying to interject and finally tell them to shut up and hit him in the head. I made sure I showed that clip during my live stream when I was drawing Sylvester and Tweety for the anniversary of their first short, Tweety Pie. Probably should make his legs a little bit longer. Let's fix his boots like so. Okay, so I'm done with Kaput and Zelski for now. Okay, just going to save this. Here we go. Save, 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 save. There we go, and I'm gonna group this, and before I move on to the next sketch, I'm just gonna catch up with some comments with you guys, because I know you're weaving a lot of interesting stuff in there. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see. Favorite Princess Valentine saying that I've only watched a few episodes of Clone High on MTV Classic a few years ago, and I enjoyed what I saw of it. Yes, me too. I only saw a little bit of Clone High, like maybe the first 3 or 4 episodes, and I enjoyed what I saw too. Let's see. if I'm ever, Norbert's asking if I could do a general drawn request stream anytime soon. Maybe. But for sure, like I have like a couple of ideas for more specific drawn request streams, like in the future. I'll let you know what those ideas will be eventually. And actually, is accent if I know about Cow and Chicken. Of course I do. It's one of my favorite Cartoon Network shows from the cartoon era, and one of the earliest to be syndicated on Teletoon. And just gonna go through these comments as quick as I can. MobyFan12 is mentioning that Sylvester is originally named Thomas in Tweety Pie. Yep. But he was changed because there was already a Thomas in Tom and Jerry. Yep, that's right. And Sylvester won't get his name until Chuck Jones paired him with Porky Pig in Scaredy Cat. But I have to wonder if Sylvester, like in his model seats prior to that cartoon, if he ever had a name to begin with, like aside from Thomas, like from that one short where he was addressed by that name. Yeah, let's see. Starface asking if I ever watched Ed and Eddie and if the show aired on Teletoon. Yes, I have seen Ed and Eddie. I quite like it, and also just want to mention that I mainly watched it on Cartoon Network Canada, then with Teletoon. My memories of it on Teletoon is very vague at best. And I just want to mention that for some reason, even though Ed and Eddie is a Canadian show animated in Vancouver, from what I've seen, only the first 4 seasons have only aired here, at least based on what I've seen of it on Cartoon Network Canada. So that means we don't see the digitally inked and paint episodes, with the kids at school. So yeah, I'm pretty much missing out. Yeah, Dietrich's mentioned that with these guys, Kaput and Zelski, they do kind of have Dexter's boots. Oh, Alba 3000 is mentioning Anik Albasonia Sonnen. Oh, sorry for butchering that name, but yes, I know who you're talking about. Yeah, she might be a good subject for interviewee too. I do quite like her as who's the voice? She voiced Skunk in Franklin. She voiced Sierra in Toad Drama, and also she voices Inez from Cyber Chase, and also played Maxine from Mischief City, which aired on White TV. I'm sure none of you have ever heard of it. Well, maybe you've heard of it, Norbert. I might have mentioned Mischief City to you before. Let's see if there's anything else I'm missing here. Let's see. Alba 3000 mentioned basically Canadian cartoons are really good, as American, usually sometimes Canadian cartoons aired in the United States. Yes, I know, like I mentioned before, sometimes with Canadian cartoons, people can underestimate how good they could be. Okay guys, going to see what else you have here. Let's see. Okay, so Norbert hasn't heard of Mischief City yet. Okay. Okay. Yep. Once again, I know you guys have some really interesting comments, but I have to move on to the next request. Already half an hour into this. Okay, so who am I going to draw next? Let me see here. I'm going through this kind of like I'm digging into a bag with, or a hat with a bunch of names in it. Let's see. Okay, we got one from Wook, who's technically requesting a whole bunch of characters, but obviously I can't draw all of them that he's listed, so I'll pick one, and I feel most confident in drawing. Okay, let me see if I can also pull up that picture of that character that. One of the characters that Wook is requested for me to draw. Let's see here. I think this would do. Yep, here we go. It's Kyo, the pineapple-headed kid from Yak the Yak. I'm gonna start with him now. Alright, might as well group him from now as well. Oops. Okay. So, yep. Oh, damn it. Take off the eraser. Yep. Here we go. Just decrease the size a bit. Draw my boy Kyo here. Let's see. Okay, yeah. I won't forget to turn off the camera again. But let me know still if the camera does go like off sync. Thanks, Norbert. But yeah, you're also asking if I'm going to take requests from the live chat now and not just the community posts. Well, I'm gonna be focusing on the community posts still, Norbert. Maybe at the end, I will choose one from the chat. But yes, here's Kyo from Yak the Yak, a show that I remember watching more on BBC Kids than I did on Teletoon. BBC Kids, rest in peace to that channel as well. I love how they were able to air some obscure Teletoon and White TV cartoons that have been long cancelled, and it kind of helped me become an even a slightly bigger fan of it. Beforehand, it might be just something that I would casually pass by. Maybe like if there's nothing else on, or if I'm channel surfing. And I will remember their theme song more than anything else. But with BBC Kids, this was back in around 2011, 2012 by the way, with BBC Kids syndicating stuff like Yak the Yak and What About Mimi, they helped me get a boost in interest in how whatever levels of entertainment that they can offer. I also credit, it's not a Teletoon show, but BBC Kids also helped me to become a bigger fan of Jacob Tutu as well. But yes, with Yak the Yak, some of you may remember that in America it aired on Nicktoons Network, and I think the main Nickelodeon as well. I think even with the screenshot of Kyo over here, it came from a Nickelodeon promo. And for what I heard with the reception, it's not a hugely acclaimed show, but me personally, I thought it was amusing when I was watching it on BBC Kids. A show about a yak who, to be honest, he looks more like a moose, who wants to be an aspiring comedian, and he's friends with this pineapple-headed kid. But by the way, yeah, so Kyo, his dad, is just an ordinary pineapple with a face inside a fruit bowl. He doesn't have a human body, but Kyo seems to have a human body, so that implies that maybe his mother was a human, or maybe a more humanoid-looking fruit. I don't know. And Yakti's other friend is Lemony, who... Okay, so yeah, you brought up the Internet Archive, Norbert. I just want to mention about how I was able to look at the pitch Bibles for Yak the Yak. There's 2 of them, and the second one is the closest to what the final show looks like. But among the most notable differences with the 2 is that with the first one doesn't have Lemony in it. In case I didn't mention it, Lemony is that blonde girl who's friends with Yakti and Kyo, and voiced by Andrea Whitman, who you may best remember for her work on Dragon Tales and My Little Pony Friends with Magic. But yeah, Lemony seems to be a last-minute addition to the development of the show, since he was in the second Pitts Bible, instead of the first and not the first one as well. I assume it's basically because, you know, we need to have more major female characters in the cast, particularly one who's in Yakti's group of friends. And another notable difference is there's this librarian character named Wanda Harper. I think that's her full name. If you see in the final show, she's a black lady, but in the original concept art, she is white with pink hair, and she's a fairy too, by the way. She's not just a librarian, she's also a fairy, so I assume they have to change her because, well, there's already a pink-haired fairy named Wanda on a certain other cartoon, so I assume that's like a primary reason why they changed Miss Harper's design. So yeah, goodies like those that you can find on the Internet Archive, you know, we won't want them to become lost media. The Internet Archive and the Wayback Machine, they're like eye candy for nerds like me. As I mentioned, it's a very helpful source of info for doing research, including, like, in my case, so it's really helpful in, like, my Truth About Grim and Evil 3-parter. Okay. Okay. Wook is loving the request so far. I'm glad you like it. You're welcome. And yes, Yak the Yak is named after a song by the Coasters. And they used pretty much the original version of the theme song, but they added some kids singing Yak the Yak, shouting out the name Yak the Yak, mixed in with the original recording of the song. And yeah, I didn't know that until, like, when I got more into the show itself, that Yak the Yak was based on, that's named after, like, it's a song that existed way before the cartoon. And even Oscar the Grouch sang it in A Special Sesame Street Christmas, which, of course, is the inferior version of Christmas Eve on Sesame Street. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's true. Like, it is similar to how like Yak the Yak being the theme song to Yak the Yak. Oh, hang on. We got a new subscriber. Whoopsie the Turbo subscribed. Awesome. Thank you, man. Or girl. But yes, with Yak the Yak being the theme song to, well, Yak the Yak, it's just like with Birds having Surfing Bird as their theme song. Like, long before Peter Griffin made it popular. Let's just make sure my music's still playing. Yep. Maybe turn up just a tiny bit. There we go. Wait, I almost forgot. There we go. Okay, I'm done with. Hey, I'm back from my 1 second disappearance. Okay. Once again, I'm gonna catch up with some comments here. Well, everybody's heard about the bird. Yep. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what we have here. Oh wait, so actually it wasn't the original chorus of the song, it was a cover, and by the way, the song Yak the Yak can be heard in the Teletoons episode Toon TV. Oh, okay. And let's see. Let's see what we have here. Oh yeah, Moby fans mentioned. Fun fact: the Family Guy episode E. Peter Bus Unum and Death Whips are directed by Rob Franzetti. Yep, I know. I wonder what he might have talked about it before. He might have talked about it in an interview, but I'd like to hear his thoughts on working on Family Guy. I guess Norbert's mentioned that he mentioned this to me before, but his brother is named Jacob, like Jacob Tutu, and if he remembers correctly, he had his password, they call me Tutu at school. Yep. Okay. And yeah, Norbert's saying that he doesn't have a request, plus feels a little unfair to make another request when you already took one of mine, or one of his, and yeah, that's what I was thinking too, like, for those who already had their request fulfilled last time, I'm not necessarily going to be taking another one again, just the people who haven't had their requests before. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people forgot about Yak the Yak for whatever reason. Okay. Alright, so Kyo's done. And now we're gonna do another request, and who will that be? Okay, going back to the community tab over here, alright. Oh yes, so we got a good one, good recommendations from Zador. Once again, requested more than one character in one comment, but I'm only going to choose one, and I already know which one that I'm going to do, mostly for familiarity's sake. Okay, I'm just gonna pull up an image of that character. Okay. Yeah, I got a good picture of him here. Okay, yeah, this one's even better. And here we go. Alright, so Zador asks me, among the characters they request for me to draw is Todd from Wayside, and that is the character I'm going to be choosing out of their list of recommendations. As I mentioned before, Wayside is one of my favorite Teletoon original series. It has been since 2011. Like, I will watch it pretty much for its way all the episodes, like all 26 episodes, until like eventually I got tired of it. And I still haven't read any of the Wayside books yet. But so, my love for the show just comes from what it does as a cartoon in its own right. So it got Todd here. He's one of my favorite characters, mostly because, you know, like, he's the only sane man. I'll admit, while I was watching Wayside, a part of me, well, I won't say a part of me, like, a lot of me felt a bit frustrated sometimes, like, what the stuff that poor Todd has to go through, like, with this illogical school. Like, he and Lewis, the janitor, are, like, the smartest characters, like, the least insanely minded of the cast. and have to go through the eccentricity of all the other students and also like the rest of the school staff, like Mrs. Jules, the teacher, and Mr. Kidswater, the principal, and Miss Muss, the chef, who has a pet dead rat named Sammy. Let's see. And yes, I do know that with the Wayside pilot episode, or pilot film, Michael Cera is the voice of Todd, and Kathy Najimy was the voice of Mrs. Jules, but they have to recast. Yep, I know, but I kind of understand, maybe with Kathy Najimy, but I don't know, with Michael Cera, they might have still been able to kept him. It also helped that he is already Canadian and he was able to do some voices in Nelvana cartoons previously. I remember him best as Brother Bear in the Berenstain Bears, or the Bernstein Bears. I can never remember, is it Berenstain or Berenstein? I think it's Berenstain Bears. That damn Nelson Mandela effect. But yeah, and also there's, he also was the voice of Joss, Saren's little brother in Braceface. So yeah, it's another case of retroactive recognition in which we have a Canadian actor who's mostly known for being in some live action stuff, like Arrested Development, for example, but, you know, he got more humble beginnings as a voice actor in kids' cartoons. And with Todd, he would be voiced by Mark Randall in the series itself. He was the voice of Arthur Reed in season 6, 7, and 8 of Arthur. Well, to be more, well, in the case of season 6, he actually had to redub the other actor. I kind of have little understanding why. I mean, it's because they thought the other actor, Justin Bradway, I think that's his name is, in season 6, they thought it might have been too high pitch or too low pitch for Arthur, I don't know. But yeah, I like Mark Randall's performance as Todd. Really has that straight man sensibility when dealing with the other students. Especially Myron and Mauricio being probably the dumbest out of like the 4 main characters. Like Myron, for example, he doesn't seem to know the only thing that's important to being a class president at a Wayside school, which is just turn on and off the white switch in the classroom. And then there's Mauricio, who's basically, you know, the cliche of, you know, this girl is a boy towards this boy because she's secretly in love with him. But you know, they didn't execute it as well as with Helga as well for Arnold and Hey Arnold. Like, Mauricio just punches Todd to cover up, and you know, she doesn't even really hide her love for Todd. She makes it blatantly obvious, and Todd is aware of it, and he does not, her crush on him is, it remains unrequited. Oh yes, Mark Randall is also the voice of Russell and Kay. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. And yes, it is Bernstein Bears. Yep, just want to be 100% sure. Oh, okay, so yeah, our first voice had to be redubbed in season 6 because Justin Bradley sounded a bit too whiny and high-pitched. Even though, like, some would say that criticism could also be applied to the kid who voiced Arthur in, like, season 9. In fact, he almost sounds like DW even. And, yep, Mrs. Jules' original voice actress is Peggy Hill, or Kathy Najimy. And also, with Mrs. Jules, she's voiced by, in the show itself, she's voiced by Kathleen Lasky, if I'm saying that correctly, who, aside from Mrs. Jules, I best remember her as voice of George Strait's mom, Perdita, and also the mom from My Dad the Rockstar, Crystal. So yes, he's another one of those obscure Canadian voice actresses who I would immediately recognize and feel is a part of my childhood. Oops. Okay. I'll probably just maybe lower his shoulder here. Yes, Carmen Enzo was the voice of Arthur in seasons 9 and seasons 9 to 11. 9/11. Oh, what's playing in the background, Starfleet? It's still Looney Tunes. Specifically, it's the short Sylvester and Tweety short. Ain't See Tweet. The one where Sylvester has to get past Granny's yard full of bulldogs to get Tweety. A concept that will basically be redone in another short, Dog Pounded. There we go. Over say that although I did hear that there might be a version of Run Russell Run that had finished animation, I've yet to verify if that's actually true. Yeah, I did remember where you sold that quip of blatantly unfinished animation in King that was broadcasted nationally. That was like one of the most amusing animation goofs that I've ever come across. Okay, so now I'm gonna be trying the Wonk sleeve here. And now I'm gonna try his hand sticking out. He's basically questioning, once again questioning like whatever illogical thing is happening with the Wayside students. And yeah, another thing is Todd will often be disciplined for making sense out of Wayside School. Like Mrs. Jules will always write his name on the discipline list and send him home early on the kindergarten bus. Like, give this man a break. Like, I remember when I was first getting into Wayside, despite her flaws, I thought Mrs. Jules was adorable. Like, she's a former cartoon crush of mine, and to this day I still think she is, funny for sure. But at the same time, like, like Todd is just trying to like make some sense out of things. You don't have to punch them every time. Like, one particularly frustrating episode is the one where they have a field trip to the aquarium inside the classroom, and then there's a point where Todd is left out because he doesn't have a permission slip. And even when the kids are in danger, the kids and Mrs. Jules are in danger, like Mrs. Jules basically refuses to help because he doesn't have a permission slip. I'm like, okay, so, and also when he does manage to save Mrs. Jules and the rest of her class anyway, like, she's still upset that he doesn't have a permission slip because, actually he did have a permission slip, but it wasn't signed. So yeah, that's how much of a big deal Mrs. Jules was making about permission slips, and I don't know, it's just come off as ungrateful, easily like her worst moment on the show. just right click here. Okay. Okay. Oh, Tony's here. Hey, what's up? Quest Logo Remake Party 7 is not in the works yet, and that is all I have to say regarding that. Okay. Just focusing on like the upper half of Todd this time around. Probably still fix his eyebrow too. Okay, Zador, I hope you're liking my Todd so far. Ah, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna catch up with some comments here. Let's see. Okay, so Moby Fan has a bonus request at the end that he will tell me later. Can't wait to see it. So as long as it's nothing like maybe too time consuming or like too difficult. Cause I drew 3 characters so far, and there's another one that I have in mind that I really want to draw. Okay, see if there's anything else I missed. Oh, Rick is asking who's my favorite Wayside character. Yes, I did mention that Todd is one of my favorite characters, and also, I do like Myron. He is the funniest of the 4 main students. Just for how ridiculously full of himself he is. Vote for me! He's always, he always wants people to like kiss or grovel at his feet. Even though the kid can't even remember to turn on the white switch, which is one thing he has to do as class president, as I mentioned before. Oh, and Principal Kidswater is, he is a laugh riot. One of the funniest cartoon principals out there, up there with Skinner. And I do like Willis, since just like with Todd, he's like one of the more reasonable characters. And I like Dana as well. And I still kinda like Mrs. Jules. So yeah, those are some of my like absolute favorites. Oh, and can't forget about Sammy, the dead rat, who only Miss Musk could understand. Okay, I was just doing a bit of fixing up with Todd as I was talking about my favorite characters, but otherwise I'm done with him for now. Just gonna group him. So there we go. Save it. Okay. And let's see. Which Billy Bandy era do I prefer? The Grim and Evil era, season 1, or the Grim Adventures era, the split era, seasons 2 and 6. I'm gonna have to say the second era also. Season 1 has some brilliant episodes, like for example, I love Opposite Day, and even the pilot episode is like perfect. And you can't forget about stuff like the what's it called? Little Rock of Horrors. How can I almost forget about that title? Little Rock of Horrors. and of course the Halloween episode. But I feel like Billy and Mandy got even funnier with the second season onward, with classics like Attack of the Clowns and also 5 O'Clock Shadows and Keeper of the Reaper, among other classics. But with Evil Concarne, on the other hand, it's kind of the opposite. Although also season 2 of that show has a couple masterpieces. Okay, so I'm going to be taking another request from the community tab, and while how about we take another intermission break? Let's see. Power 700 is giving big thumbs up for. Oh wait, Power 700 just left a big thumbs up for Wayside, but I don't see that comment anymore. Probably just fixing up a typo. Oh, but yes, like I was saying, we're gonna take another intermission as I prepare for the next request.
On Teletoon Saturdays, nothing beats an old-fashioned 2x4. It could be used for just about anything. Split for a cat's tail, a drawbridge for rats, even a bird decoy, or an entire dog house. Just remember that in film, cunt means a whole other thing. Movies. Tomorrow at 5. Teletoon. It's unreal. On Teletoon Saturdays, nothing beats an old-fashioned 2x4. It could be used for just about anything. Split for a cat's tail, a drawbridge for rats, even a bird decoy, or an entire dog house. Just remember that in film, cunt means a whole other thing. Movies. Tomorrow at 5. Teletoon. It's unreal.
Yep, I hope you guys who grew up with Teletoon remember about Teletoon, about how they would air movies on Saturdays, which they still do. I don't know if with the Cartoon Network Canada rewants it, they'll still do that though. Okay, yes, as you can see here, Jai, honestly, their request was a bit last minute. You know, I couldn't resist drawing Saren Spitz, the main character of Braceface. Like I did mention, I should be drawing a character from a show that Ted Bastien worked on. Only was he worked on Wayside too. Please remind me if he did Moby Fan 12. I already forgot if he worked on Wayside too. But yes, with Saren, of course, Braceface is not one of my favorite original series from Teletoon. I never rewatched it on Teletoon while it was airing, but I was able to really get into it when it was on Rogers On Demand. And yeah, I mentioned it before, but Braceface, I got into it like before I got into a certain other slice of life teen girl cartoon as told by Ginger, just like a few months before. Like, I technically started watching it in 2013, but it was really 2014 where I became more dedicated to binging the show. Like, appreciated the themes that it would tackle. It's pretty ahead of its time in several respects. I ought to rewatch Toonrific Tariq's retrospective on it. And I also want to dedicate this doodle to Zara Wagner. I don't think she might be too busy to check out the stream, but I know, like, I mentioned her because she's one of the biggest Braceface fans that I know, and if she were to see this, I'm pretty sure she would appreciate that I'm drawing Saren. And I remember when Zara was a guest on a previous live stream like a few years ago talking about Canadian animation. She was highlighting Braceface because, again, it's one of her favorite cartoons, and I even mentioned to her that, you know, you kind of sound like Saren when you speak. And she's like, oh really? With Saren, mentioned that she sounds like the original voice of Sharon, Alyssa Silverstone. And she's like, oh, really? And I also remember more recently she posted a quip, a video where she would recite Sharon's different lines of dialogue, like showing the original quip and then reciting it to do like a comparison of like how much they really like sound alike. Okay, yes, Ted Bastien worked on Wayside as a storyboard artist. Yes, thanks for confirming that, movie fan. And yes, for the first 2 seasons, Sharon was voiced by Alyssa Silverstone, but replaced by Stacey DePaz, however you say her name. And I don't know, I guess the differences in their voices are relatively subtle. And I know Alyssa Silverstone was an executive producer on the series as well. I can't remember if Alyssa Silverstone is even Canadian herself, because, you know, this is something that I noticed with a lot of Nelvana cartoons. Several of them have at least 1 or 2, like, American celebrities highlighted the series, and then the rest of the cast would be, you know, like, local, mostly Toronto-based voice actors. Like, for example, Cyber Chase has Gilbert Gottfried, rest in peace, and Christopher Lloyd as Digit and Hacker, respectively. Also, the Magic School Bus has Lily Tomlin as Miss Frizzle. And another example is Frankie Muniz, you know, Malcolm from Malcolm in the Middle. He's not Canadian, right? But yeah, he's the voice of Mo from Moville Mysteries. I might be missing another example here. Nathan Wayne was in George and Martha, along with Andrea Martin. Well, Andrea Martin, wait, I think she's Canadian. Yeah, I think Andrea Martin is Canadian because, you know, she was also part of Second City Television alongside people like John Candy. Okay, yes, Alyssa Silverstone is American. Thanks for confirming, Jai. So yes, I drew Sharon a couple of times before. Mostly I drew her like in what seems to be her most well-known outfit, like this white blue crop top. But I don't think I'll ever like sketch her in the pink shirt that she wears more often than that blue shirt that she wears like since season 2, I think. Okay, I better get to adding Sharon's pupils as soon as I can. Because already she's looking a little bit like she doesn't have a soul. Okay, there we go. Okay, Sharon is looking more human now. So, when it comes to Braceface, with its production, it's created by Melissa Clark, who I'm not too familiar with, but I know she's kind of like with Emily Kapnick from As Told by Ginger, in which she's not a cartoonist, she's not an animator, but just a writer who I assume like with Braceface, like similar to with Emily Kapnick's Intensity with Ginger, you know, she wants to create a show that you know, it's based on her life as a teenager and one that other teenagers could relate to. And interesting thing with Melissa Clark, I remember a few years ago when I was briefly rewatching Roly Poly Oly, I saw that, hey, Melissa Clark, the creator of Braceface, sees a writer on the show, and it's another case of, you know, retroactive recognition, the animation nerd edition of it at least, because when you're younger, you might not know too much about like the semi-popular or lesser-known obscure names in the animation industry who worked on your favorite cartoons. But when you get older, when you become more passionate about the medium, like want to take it seriously, and you pursue to be a member of it, that's when you like develop more interest in knowing and recognizing the different names who worked on your different cartoons. Let's see. Noble saying that he knows that Saren's eyes are part of the show, but in your drawing that I'm drawing them like touch it. Is that so it better fit in my art style? Yes. Yeah, that's true. I do like adding like aspects of my default art style, mixed in like with whatever the original source material has. So yes, gonna be focusing on like Saren's head here. Yeah, I'm not sure who did the character designs for Braceface, but, you know, I think they're pretty good for the most part. Like, but certainly, like, very angular. Like, the characters have these, like, very pointy cheekbones and chins and foreheads. But I'd like to know, like, who was responsible for the character designs of it. Like, again, I'm not sure if it was Melissa Clark who designed it, because, again, like, she seems to be more of a writer than a cartoonist. Let's see. Oh, Luke is asking if I know about Melissa Altero. She's one of his favorite voice actors. Yes, of course, she's Muffy Crossfire and Arthur, a character who I love to hate. And not only that, but she's also Pippi Longstocking in Nelvana's cartoon, which is interesting because I think Melissa is since she's mostly known for Arthur, which is the voice recording is done in like Montreal, Quebec, but with Nelvana they're mostly Toronto based. So it's interesting how like how sometimes these different areas of Canadian voice actors can be able to collaborate, like a mix of Vancouver-based actors and Toronto-based actors and Montreal actors. But yeah, definitely am familiar with Melissa. I haven't watched much of the Pippi Longstocking cartoon though. but naturally, when I hear Pippi speak, I just think of Muffy. I'll just get another picture of Sharon to make sure that I get the ending of her hair right. You know what, I think this one will do. Let's see. Okay, yep. Make sure her hair is alright. Let's see. Oh, well, okay. So, the main character design for Braceface is Chris Purd, who directed Quiet Witch Chance Meatballs 2, and he also is the director of The Willoughbys, which is a really good movie on Netflix. Well, I did not know that. Wow. See, that's another case of my mind being blown when it comes to like certain animation staff members. Like, I did not realize that the director of The Willoughbys and Quiet Witch Chance Meatballs 2 is the character designer of Braceface. Wow. Okay, let's see what's our comments I'm missing. Moby fans mentioned that Braceface's art style is not as angular as Cold High or even Cyber Chase. The weird part about it is that with Cyber Chase is that all of the characters have thick black outlines, but the backgrounds don't mesh well. Yeah, I know, but I'll bet with Cyber Chase, like, I don't know, I do like its character designs. Especially with Buzz and Dweet, Hacker's robot henchmen. For as little that I care about Cyber Chase itself, the designs of those guys were like among my favorite things about it. And of course I do like Digit and Hacker as characters, and with their voices as well. They're voiced by two legends. Okay, Saren's looking good. Okay, I'm gonna take another. Hey, I'm back. Creep. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna be mentioning some comments before I move on to another request. You know what? I think I'm going to at this point I'm gonna be selecting a bonus request in the chat. But before I do, I just want to acknowledge some comments here. Yes, Cream the Rabbit fans mentioned that Braceface was Chinese according to Wikipedia. Yes, some of Novana's shows are animated in China. Like George Shrinks is another one. In fact, it's the same animation studio, Jade Animation, that animates both George Shrinks and Braceface. And there is also a Chinese studio who works on, yeah, just name off the top of my head some other cartoons by Novana that are animated like in China. There's Pelswick, and there's also, what else? I think Mobile Mysteries 2, and Seven World Monsters, and Timothy Goes to School, I think. So yeah, Nober's saying that he's seen a few episodes of Braceface, and in those episodes, for some reason, Sarah can hear people talking in other rooms when, like, she's picking up radio signals through her braces. That's not possible in real life. Norbert had braces for 2 years and never picked up any radio signals. Yeah, I know. Like, I would make the excuse that it's just a cartoon, but you know, it's supposed to be a very grounded cartoon, like pretty realistic. But yeah, that's basically a trait that would be toned down from what I can remember with the show. With Braceface, it became a little bit less about the braces and more about you know, just typical teen girl stuff. Let's see. Let's see, what else do we have here? Any comments that I missed? Franco's accent, if I'm going to acknowledge the annoying vulgar requests, and I just mostly ignore them. And yes, Melissa Joan Hart is the voice of Hilda and Zelda in Sabrina the Anime Series. I don't think they voiced her in Sabrina's Secret Life though. Okay, let's see. Oh, and also with Moby fans point out with Babar, that Gordon Pensent only voiced him in the first 3 seasons, and Dan Wett took over in the 4th season, also did character Elephants. Cool. And with the 4th season, I'm trying to remember if that's like still within like the original era between 1989 and 1991, or if the 4th season is considered to be the episodes in the early 2000s that were digitally inked and painted and had Babar as family traveling to different lands in their hot air balloon, because I remember really liking those episodes. Like, there was a point where I looked forward to those episodes just as much as the original 80s series. Okay, so Fairy Princess Valentine also had braces when she was 11 to 13 years old and took them out before her 14th birthday. Interesting. Okay, yeah, so season 4 is the one where they switched to ink and paint. Starfreeze mentioned, if I saw the scene with Ralph where he wears the hat of discipline as a meme, yeah, I believe I have. Ralph is a funny character for sure. Okay, so we have some good requests for a bonus doodle. Rick is requested for Caitlin from 16. And let's see, Starfy is requested for Jokey Smurf. And let's see, I saw somebody request for Perry and Entree from Spliced. I might do that. And somebody also requested for Cream the Rabbit is recommended that I draw Angela Anaconda, or maybe not. Which one should I do? Until I decide which one I'll draw. How about we take another break? Once again, just like with last time, I sold Concerned Children's Advertisers PSA, and I feel like it's gonna be no different here. We're gonna be showing a real classic that I'm sure a lot of you are going to remember or recognize fondly. Okay, just watch it until I decide which bonus doodle I will.
It's nighttime in a kitchen just like yours. All is quiet. Or is it? The North American house hippo is found throughout Canada and the eastern United States. House hippos are very timid creatures and are rarely seen. but they will defend their territory if provoked. They come out at night to search for food, water, and materials for their nests. The favorite foods of the house hippo are chips, raisins, and the crumbs from peanut butter on toast. They build their nests in bedroom closets, using lost mittens, dryer lids, and bits of string. The nests have to be very soft and warm. House hippos sleep about 16 hours a day.
That looked really real, but you knew it couldn't be true, didn't you? That's why it's good to think about what you're watching on TV and ask questions, kind of like you just did. A message from Concerned Children's Advertisers.
It's nighttime in a kitchen just like yours. All is quiet. Or is it? The North American house hippo is found throughout Canada and the eastern United States. House hippos are very timid creatures and are rarely seen, but they will defend their territory if provoked. They come out at night to search for food, water, and materials for their nests. The favorite foods of the house hippo are chips, raisins, and the crumbs from peanut butter on toast. They build their nests in bedroom closets, using lost mittens, dryer lids, and bits of string. The nests have to be very soft and warm. House hippos sleep about 16 hours a day.
And I'm pretty sure a lot of kids were bummed out when they realized that, even though the commercial says at the end that house hippos don't exist, I'm still convinced that maybe they do. Yes, so that was a classic right there. Okay, so I decided that I'm going to draw the request of Perry and Entree from Spliced. And just to refresh my memory on who requested it, let me just go up here. Let's see who requested it. Oh, it's Anti-Scramble who requested for Perry and Entree. Okay, yep. We're gonna get right to it. Just put back on my music. Okay. Oh, damn it. Okay, so I made a mistake here. In the background, I was trying to group the layer with Sarin, but no, I have to I accidentally named the group Perry and Entree, but no, I have to create a new paint layer for those two. Okay, and now I'm going to do it properly. And, okay, so yes, Perry and Entree I'm gonna be drawing. Oops. I think I'm gonna be drawing like this pose here, with Perry on top of Entree. Spice was a pretty funny cartoon. I was most into it around 2012, and for those who are unfamiliar with it, okay, so basically Spice is a cartoon about, it's basically like, more or less an adaptation of the island of Dr. Moreau, that doctor who made all those mutant animals, and then he was exiled for doing such a heinous crime of experimentation, so all of the experiments, they live on this island, having these goofy comedic adventures. And the main characters are Perry and Entree, who, I don't know, they kind of give me Ren and Stimpy vibes, especially with Perry. He kind of reminds me of Ren with his design, except he's not Chihuahua, obviously. He's, to be honest, they never specify what exactly Perry is supposed to be. His name is short for Experiment, but as for what type of animals he's supposed to represent, well, for sure he's supposed to, he has octopus tentacles, sort of, and then, I don't know, I thought he kind of looks like a cat. But yeah, then we have Entree, who we know for sure he is half pig, half cow, half chicken, half shrimp, with a shrimp tail. this. I really like this cartoon going back. Like, Perry and Entree were a funny duo. I said they kind of remind me of Ren and Stimpy, but I don't know, I feel like they're also comparable to SpongeBob and Patrick. Whereas Ren is sort of smart, while Stimpy is mostly the dumb one. Like, with SpongeBob and Patrick, like, they're both dumb. Well, SpongeBob, at least early on, was more naive than downright stupid compared to Patrick, at least like in the earlier seasons. So yeah, with Perry and Entree, I don't know, it's been a while since I've seen it, but Perry is sort of like the only sane man amongst the duo. A voice of reason towards Entree. But he's kind of goofy in his own way. These were fun characters, and other fun characters on the show include Two-Legged Joe, who's a rhino who, as you guessed, has 2 legs and always stomping on Perry and Entree whenever they piss him off. And he also has a bird on his back. Who I remember one episode, the bird. He's mostly a silent character, but he was able to speak. And another fun character is Fuzzy Snuggums, who I think in one of my previous Canadian themed streams, like my Canada Day live stream from last year, I think I misnamed him Mr. Snuggles, when that's the name of Billy's pet hamster in Billy and Mandy. Fuzzy Snuggums is this furry, yellow, cute thing. I don't know, he might be some sort of rodent, who's an explorer, and I don't know, he's kind of like Mort from Madagascar. He's this cute creature whose main existence is to be cute and be, the butt monkey, the chew toy. And he's one of my favorite roles by the one and only Julie Lemieux, veteran Canadian voice actress who is a huge part of my childhood, as I mentioned before. Let's see. Okay, I just want to catch up with some comments. Norbert said, I'm sure a lot of kids probably thought the house table was real from this ad. It didn't really work. The lesson they were trying to teach from it. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's like what I mentioned before. Oh yeah, and Wook is saying, house hippos are real. They're called mice. Yep, that's great. Oh yes, I am familiar with the meme that you reference, Fairy Princess Valentine. And oh, Brendan Barney's here. Okay. Oh, okay. Great to see you, Brandon. Norbert's asking, which show is Fuzzy Snuggles from? Oh, I said Fuzzy Snuggums. He's from Spliced. He's a character, he's this cute yellow creature who's an explorer, but, he's a subject of being a chew toy. Yeah, I remember I misnamed him as Mr. Snuggles, who is Billy's pet hamster on Billy and Mandy. Oh, let's see. And yes, I do know that Eric Balsa, who is another Canadian, I sometimes forget he's Canadian, yeah, he was able to work as an animator on The Rip and Friends and Ren and Stimpy Adult Party cartoon and the Drawn Together movie. Ironically enough, all 3 were poorly received. Yeah, I know like several cartoons that Eric was in, like Adult Party cartoon and Breadwinners and the later seasons of The Fairy Odd Parents that had Foop in it. They're not necessarily the best received, and oh yeah, he's also an Uncle Grandpa as well, although that show has a better reputation nowadays. But Eric definitely redeemed himself when he became like the main voice of Looney Tunes, voicing Bugs and Daffy, and he's already doing an excellent job as Marvin since the Looney Tunes show in 2011. Okay, you take care of yourselves, Fairy Princess Valentine. Yes, Julie Lemieux is the voice of Michael in Little People and Louise on Max and Ruby. Yes, I best remember her as Louise, but I forgot she voiced Michael, although I do remember watching Little People on Teletoon. This was back when they used to show preschool programming, including, of course, Caillou, and also Maggie and the Ferocious Beast, Harry and his bucket full of dinosaurs, Pekala, which was one of my favorites. It was this CGI anime about this penguin who's cube-shaped, and everybody else, well, just like the theme song says, all of the world is square. And another show that I remember watching is The Babawoos, which is, okay, so basically, if you take Beauty and the Beast and keep the concept of living household objects and, you know, have that be like the main theme, but instead of being a royal castle, it's just an ordinary person's house. So yeah, that's what The Babawoos was about. And also, speaking of household objects, there was home things. I know, like, me, Norbert, and I believe some other person who brought it up on Twitter are like the only people who remember about home things. It was this cute stop-motion animated series that had songs playing that's about a different pair of household objects. You'll know how happy I was when I was able to rediscover that show like many years ago, like on YouTube. I think it was, yeah, on YouTube, and also somebody uploaded it on Vimeo. Yes, The Babawoos was done by Sidar. What's Up Julie's, Norbert say, What's Up Julie Ramu's characters have really raspy voices, like Bal's Sweetbee and Batty and Darwin, for example. Did her voice ever get sore from doing all those raspy characters? I'm not sure. Like, maybe one of these days if I interview her, I'll keep that question in mind. Oh yes, I definitely heard of Robo Roach, Brandon. I remember it mainly for the theme song, which was catchy as heck. And I remember watching maybe a select few episodes. I remember the basic premise of it. It's about two cockroaches, and one of them is he becomes, you know, like a bionic sort of cockroach with jetpacks, and also he's basically Inspector Gadget if you were a cockroach, and not necessarily a detective though. And there's the other cockroach who's he's sort of like the jerk of the two, like kind of like another big sweet dumb guy, mean greedy jerk shorty, kind of like with Ren and Stimpy. Oh boy. Yep, let's see here. Let's see here, what else do we have here? Okay, yes, Moby fans point out that Splice creators, Simon Simon and Richard Elliott also worked on George Strakes and Henry's World, Yak the Yak, Jacob Tutu, Franklin, Teen Titans, Toei Spies, Grossology, oh boy, like a whole bunch of shows. Yep, and yeah, I remember I mentioned before that they did work on several cartoons, like both American and Canadian, including more recently, The Boys Presents Diabolical. Okay guys, it's gonna be getting to the 2-hour mark. I have to finish this as soon as I can. Might as well shrink down Perry just a bit. There we go. There we go. Okay, so another thing that I like about Splice is basically the character of Patricia, the platypus. When it comes to Patricia, of course, she's like the voice of reason amongst these eccentric creatures, who are eccentric in both personality and also their design, of course. But with Patricia, she's the outlier outlier in the sense that she is a real species. A platypus, basically half duck, half beaver. So I find it to be clever that a real life mashup between two animals is able to be part of the cast and also be acting as like the voice of reason. So yeah, I appreciate that about Patricia's role on the show. And of course I can't neglect to mention that Patricia is voiced by my new voice actress of Sessions, Katie Crown. In fact, she's like the first role that, when I look up the credits, yes, Patricia is voiced by this woman. So yeah, initially when I think of the name of Katie Crown, I think of Patricia first. And she also voiced Octocat, who was Mr. Smarty Smart's lab assistant, basically. With Octocat, of course, she's half cat, half octopus. But because she's named Octocat, because I'm sure naming her Octopussy or Octopussycat would be a bit too risque. Okay, let's want to get Perry and Entree Doodle as fast as I can. Since we're already gonna be hitting 2 hours on the stream, I just want to bet it's gonna be like as long as the first part. But if you are enjoying it so far, in case you haven't, hit the like button and subscribe if you're a newcomer. Yep, Mike is mentioning the fact that Teletoon's schedule tomorrow is gonna be a normal one, ticks me off, especially when new schedules have been crap for a few years. Yeah, I know. I watched Teletoon for its fight, like in its later years, and yeah, they pretty much just repeat whichever episodes they played already. Of course, it's understandable because cable is running out of fashion compared to streaming services. Well, once again, I might not be as sad about Teletoon's passing as some other folks are, because its spirit is going to live on. They're still going to rerun like its original programming and mixing with Cartoon Network shows, of course, and with Amazon Prime they have Teletoon Plus, and I feel like with that, the name Teletoon Plus is going to remain so for a long while. Yes, Rube and Reg are the names of the Croc Roaches, Robo-Roads. Yep, and Reg is the short one, and Rube, I should say, is the tall one. Oh yeah, which cartoons that I watch on BBC Kids aside from Yak the Yak? Yeah, I mentioned I watched What About Mimi and Jacob Tutu on there, but I also watched Oliver's Adventures. But from what I can remember, so Oliver is this redhead boy who has like adventures in his bedroom, right? Like imaginary adventures like involving his toys. Essentially. I remember watching that on Teletoon, and I was able to revisit that show on BBC Kids. And another Teletoon classic that I was able to watch, that I know for sure I was a huge fan of when it was still aired on Teletoon, like when they reran it on BBC Kids, was Ricky Sprocket's Showbiz Boy. I absolutely loved that show when it was new, and I still think I might have to rewatch it if I am able to find it anyway. But yes, I really like that show. Ricky Sprocket, in case you don't know, it's a show about a boy who is a movie star. Like he has to, it goes back and forth between his wife as a movie star and his wife as a regular kid. It's from the creators of Bob and Margaret, Allison Snowden and David Fine. But hot take, I enjoy Ricky Sprocket just as much as Bob and Margaret, honestly. And I'm sure some of you will remember Ricky Sprocket airing on Nicktoons Network. And speaking of Nicktoons Network, Kappa Mikey was able to be syndicated over here in Canada on Teletoon. But otherwise, like, the only real Nicktoon that aired on Teletoon was Ren and Stimpy. Basically because, I don't know, I guess it's because, John K is Canadian. Some of the episodes were animated in Canada, by Carbuncle Cartoons to be exact, in Vancouver. So it's just had to add in that extra bit of CanCon requirements into it, even though Ren and Stimpy's like more predominantly a show that's pre-produced and post-produced in America. I know I consider Wayside to be a Nicktoon too, basically because it's included in Jerry Beck's book, but that show was already like made predominantly for Teletoon in mind, so I don't know, I kind of don't count it in that case, even though like I still count it as like an honorary Nicktoon at least. No, at least, but I don't know, it's just my opinion that I consider it to be a Nicktoon. Oh, you didn't know that John K is Canadian? Yeah, he was born in Quebec, I think, and went to school at Sheridan College, but he was dropped out because knowing John K, he just wanted to do things his own way and, like, rather slack off instead of, like, completing assignments. Let me see here. Okay, so I'm almost done with sketching these guys. There we go. Yes, I too disavow John K. Let's see. Let's see what else do we have here. Oh, the creators of the writers on Ricky Sprocket, some of the writers are veteran Disney writers Bill Motz and Bob Roth, who created The Ghost and Molly McGee. Wow, I did not realize that either. Thank you for pointing that out, Moby fan. Like, in general, you're definitely one of the most informative commentators that I ever have, like, on my streams. So it's blowing my mind with these facts. Okay, let me just fill his nostrils here. And with that, I'm done for now with go. Okay, guys. I'm gonna be catching up with some more comments. Then I'm gonna do a recap, and then we're gonna be done with the stream. Hang on. Oh, what's my favorite Ed and Eddie episode? I'm not sure exactly. But just to name one. What is my favorite Ed and Eddie episode? Well, it's not really an episode per se, but I do enjoy the. I do really enjoy like a big picture show. Oh yeah, I know that with the intro to Ren and Stimpy, it was composed by the late Chris Riccardi, and the only episode that's used for footage in the intro is Big House Blues. Yep, because I read in the book, that Chris Riccardi had this band called the Screamin' Wiederhosens, I think that's what it's called, and the main reason why they had that band to begin with is because, I don't know, basically that's an excuse to smoke, I guess. And with the reasoning for Big House Blues being basically 98% of the intro to Ren and Stimpy is because, you know, like they wanted animation that good, that crazy to rope in viewers who may not know what to expect when coming into an episode. So yeah, Alba 3000's mentioned that I'm not gonna be doing a part 3 of the stream. Yeah, it's just gonna be a 2-parter. And I think with that said, I might as well just do a recap now. Yes, so we drew period Entree. This request is for Anti-Scrabble. And we also drew Saren Spitz. And this one is for Jai. And next we got Todd from Wayside. This one is for Zador. And next, Wook requested I draw Kyo from Yak the Yak. And last but certainly not least, we began things with Kaput and Zelski, requested by Deidre. Yep, once again, I'm gonna be fixing these up like when I have the time after the stream, like coloring and like cleaning it up before they're all posted together. In fact, let me know which of the designs, especially like when they're finished, let me know which one would make a great teaser design, just like with Moby fans requests. Okay, and gonna save what I did here. Okay. Yes, rest in peace, Teletoon. Thanks for tuning in, Norbert. And alright, everybody, yes, rest in peace to Teletoon. Thank you for the memories. Your spirit will live on as Cartoon Network Canada and also Teletoon Plus. However long that would even be for as well with Teletoon Plus on Prime. But yes, thank you guys for tuning in, for the great viewership and participation. And yes, I'm just gonna read some little obituaries here from Moby fans saying one more thing before I go. Teletoon was unreal. Rest in peace, Teletoon. I never grew up with that channel, but I did grow up with their shows. Yes, thank you, Moby fan, for that obituary. See ya. Yep, rest in peace to Teletoon. Again, his spirit will live on. Yep, we might as well end things off with that famous Johnny Test whip crack. That's my best impression of it. Yep, and Starfy saying, thank you for the memories. Yes. Alright, and once again, thank you guys for tuning into this stream and also the last stream as well. All of the great viewership you've been giving it. And thank you for the congratulations, Deidre. Once again, if you enjoyed it, hit the like button and subscribe, because it seems like you really enjoy these drawing request streams. I might do another one soon, but on a different subject. Maybe one that's general, maybe one that's related to like another occasion. Maybe I'll do one for Warner Bros. Who knows? Since they're gonna be 100 years old very soon. So yes, once again, yes. Goodbye, everybody, and stay tuned for the next stream, whenever that will be. Have a great rest of your weekend, have a great night, or good day, or wherever your time zone is, and overall, just take care.